Good morning, everyone. This is Professor Hill. It's a short video for our class, Introduction to Ethics, Philosophy 2306 here at St. Philip's College. This is the Summer 1 term, and today is Wednesday, the 9th of June. And so we're at the beginning of our summer class. It's only the first week, but we do have our first assignment, which is just the introduction, which is due tomorrow, Thursday. We're going to get in a habit of going Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday. And also hopefully in the habit of submitting your essay first. That's always the first thing you do when you go to the discussion. Submit your essay, copy and paste it in. And then after that, once yours is in, then you can read through and see some of the essays of your classmates. And I want you to comment on at least 2 of them. That's how we turn our essays into an ongoing discussion about the case studies we'll be looking at. And I said that I wanted to make a few comments about the Jenni Lake case, which I mentioned is a tragic story, a difficult choice that a young girl had to face. And again, the short version is that she's 17 years old when she finds out that she has cancer. She begins treatment, chemotherapy, radiation, and during that ongoing process, she learns that she's pregnant, and at that point is faced with a very difficult, tragic choice, which is to continue the life-saving treatment she needs, the chemotherapy, knowing that that will end the pregnancy, or stop, again, the life-saving treatment and give the pregnancy time to develop, knowing that by delaying her own treatment, that in this particular case, it really is a choice. She could hopefully have the baby, but that would mean at the cost of her own life, or she could continue her own life-saving treatment, ending the pregnancy. Now, this was a difficult situation, and a lot of the students that have wrestled with this in the past have said, well, they've come down on both sides of this, but this is one of the arguments that I want to talk about today. I mentioned yesterday that it's always important to know who the decision maker is in any of these events, and I want to focus on that today because Jenni decides that she's going to stop her treatment and try to give the baby the best chance to go to full term. And in this case, what happens is she's right. She's able to go full term. She gives birth to a healthy baby boy, Chad Michael. But she also knew the cost, and she ended up dying less than 2 weeks after the birth of the baby, because by that point, the cancer had become so advanced. Like I said, students come down on both sides of this, whether they agree or disagree with her decision. But here's the thing about it. It really wasn't her decision. She's 17 years old. She's a minor. It was her parents' decision, specifically her mom. I mean, she lived with her mom. Her parents were divorced. What's interesting is a lot of students will say, well, now hold on a minute. It's still her decision. She's 17, for crying out loud. She's pregnant. I'm like, yeah, I get that she's almost 18, but she's not. And she's pregnant, but that doesn't somehow automatically make you an adult. Some students, I think they think that for some reason. And let me explain that it doesn't really work like that. What she could have done is if she disagreed with her mother, she could have at some point decided, well, I want to try to be emancipated for at least the medical purposes of making my own decisions regarding my health. And she could have gone to a judge and then tried to be declared an independent adult, emancipated from her parents. And in those situations, in cases like that, a judge is going to take into account the totality of all the factors, meaning they're going to look at everything that's going on, trying to gauge the maturity of the child who's asking for permission to become either completely independent or just control over certain things like schooling or healthcare. And in this case, with a limited request like just for healthcare and the fact that she's pregnant, the judge might have given her the decision-making power. But it didn't happen that way. In this case, what happened was Jenni said, I want to stop the treatment. And her mom says, okay. Now, to Jenni, that was her making a decision and her mom agreeing. But in reality, it was really her mom kind of getting Jenni's opinion about this and then making a decision, which just happened to line up with Jenni's wishes, which I'm sure were a big factor for her. But that makes a big difference. And the reason it makes a big difference is this. Lots of students make this argument. Well, the reason I think Jenni did the right thing in stopping her treatment is that parents sacrifice for their children. This is, was what we call the mama bear approach, which is that there's this kind of rule or principle that parents sacrifice for their kids. To defend their kids, you always do what's best for the child. It's always the parent's responsibility protecting the child. And so Jenni did the right thing by even sacrificing her own life to protect her child. Well, that all makes sense if you take that rule and apply it to Jenni. But remember, Jenni wasn't the decision maker. If you take that rule and apply it to the decision maker, Jenni's mom, you get the opposite outcome. You have Jenni's mom. You're saying to Jenni's mom, listen, you should sacrifice for your child, protect your child, do whatever it takes to protect your child, Jenni. That's the child that needs protection in this situation. And so why didn't you intervene? Why didn't you say, Jenni, I'm sorry, you have to continue your treatment. I know that you want to stop it. I know it's going to be a terrible consequence that's going to end this pregnancy. But I'm telling you, it's my job as your mother and the decision maker in this case to have you continue that treatment. So I want to back up to that because I want you to come down on whether you think her decision was right or wrong, but why. And if it is, you're thinking that there's this rule or principle that we need to apply to the situation, the mama bear rule, that gets challenged by the facts of the case. And that really should have applied to Jenni's mom and not Jenni. Think about that. It actually gets more complicated than even that, but I'll do some of that tomorrow. We're already at 8 minutes here, so let me stop. But think about that as you're reading chapter 1, writing your essay, getting ready for Sunday night. Again, it's only Wednesday. We've got plenty of time. And I'll pick back up on this story about the decision maker and Jenni being a minor tomorrow. So keep chewing on this. Like I said yesterday, this is a complicated case. It's not simple. There's a whole lot going on, and we got to unpack some of this. All right. Take care. Talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye. Oh, and by the way, one last thing, P.S. If you're having any trouble getting the book, let me know. I can help you with that. Take care.